Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be going over one of my Apex games, analyzing it. This is a pretty high kill game in Plat, and I've been playing in Plat and Gold lobbies, so I thought, to try to help out people who are trying to get better at the game, I'm going to go over what my game sense is, what I'm thinking in these situations, and how to overall improve your game. So we start off by landing in Neon Square. The best place to fight in Neon Square is that big building which I'm heading to. We're chasing a Valk here, but obviously she's gonna get away, as all Valk users do. I'm failing to climb up this, like, come on, why am I failing to climb that up? Anyways, so moving up, trying to chase this Valk. The best situation, not the situation, but the better way, especially with the Legends choices that you see here. I'm playing Octane for the movement, and I have two supports. Of course, Mirage is pretty good, especially due to his perk, but it would still be better to have another type of class in our game. So anyways, the Valk gets away. We're not able to kill her in time. Good scan by Mirage, because here now we see that there's another squad entering here. So here's a thing which a lot of you can try, is to try lurk up, to try sneak up on the people. And that's what I'm going to be doing exactly here. And this takes a bit of time. So obviously here, I don't exactly want to be caught, especially since they're sat on height. So anytime they just look over the edge, then my whole plan's ruined. So I'm carefully sneaking up. Fortunately, my teammates are not following me. They're shooting them, they're keeping them distracted, which is a key point here. This allows me to cover a lot of space and to continue being able to move up to them. And it just takes a bit of time, because especially since I'm waiting for the perfect moment to actually push up. So as soon as I see that crack, I move up. Conduit gets caught lacking. She gets absolutely murked. This Fuse here, same thing with him. He should have killed me, realistically, in that situation, if he was a better player. But this is Plat here, and, I could have killed him better. I could have killed him much more quicker. But whatever, shit happens. So now we're looking over. They're trying to chase the final Valk that ran away. I personally wouldn't do that, because, Valk users will get away, especially since we don't have much mobility. But one of the teammates gets shot at, and so I'm now looking about for where this other team could be, because we have no visual on them. Then we get a good ping from Lifeline. This is why pinging is really important in this game for communication. Of course, it would be better for them to use their mics, but when you're solo queuing, you can't really exactly get teammates like that. So here I'm just waiting. I ping to let them know that I'm hearing someone, and we get this easy knock. So we quickly run back to reset, because I want to push that after we just got one knock. So throwing here the jump pad, we go over the ult, and we catch them lacking. Dead one. There's the auto portal. So with that auto portal, the best thing for that team to do, especially ever since Lifeline got down, was to instantly just hit the Nexus portal. Especially with Alta. Alta gives the most easiest way to reset, especially if you get down in a team fight. But unfortunately, this team doesn't do that, and so we get another easy wipe. To be honest here, one of the great things to do, since especially when you're earning a decent amount of KP, you could play it safe to top 5. There's another team on our right who get bamboozled. Joke's on you. But I decide to not shoot or do anything, especially since I'm using the L-Star. Personally, for me, I prefer the L-Star from close to medium range, because it just excels in that. Especially since the fact you don't have to worry about reloading it. But I have no far range objects too. I know there's been some in boxes, but whatever, I just didn't pick it up. So I grabbed this Evo Cash, just being a good teammate, and I'm seeing that they're fighting, so I'm just kind of looking for them. I hear a res eventually. That's what makes me turn back to look at that back, just to make sure we're not being sneaked upon. And lo and behold, here comes an Octane. So we get that easy knock. Obviously, we're going to start pushing up immediately. Here, I should have absolutely knocked this Revenant if I was a better player, but beggars can't be choosers. So anyways, he gets knocked, and then my teammates, fortunately, they're like the last guy. So it shows that they have some thinking, which is pretty good for solo queuing as well, because you know you can get all types of people when you're solo queuing. I didn't grab that 2 to 4 times because like I don't really feel comfortable using it 2 to 4 times for far range. This is when a bunch of fighting happens like from our old position. Now here's like a quite important tech you can learn, which is to like which is basically like to peek over the wall, which you don't climb over it. So after I assessed, I got the easiest knock on whoever that was opening the red cache. I try to get as much damage done to the Valk because I simply just want to clean her up, and luckily my teammates land some shots on her. I don't know how I didn't see the team from above being in that balcony throwing nades, but it doesn't really matter because we cashed them lacking anyway. The better thing to do for that Wraith there, or Octane, sorry, is to not sit in that little box and kill, like that little corner. I don't know how shit the audio is in this game. I think it's quite decent. Like sometimes it can be shit, but they should have known that there'll be another team there, especially if they watch that Valk get knocked. So that's just kind of their bad. So then there's another Valk team just ulting away, or maybe it's the same one. I'm not too sure. So this gives us a chance just to take a breathe, loot up a bit, open this red cache, and start moving up. So as the zones get smaller and there's like less and less teams, you want to focus on getting like the most optimal position for you and your team, like getting high ground or getting a building, especially since it's Neon Square, where the fighting and there's going to be a lot of people holding buildings, so we don't exactly want to go through like the central bit there. There's really not much to say here except the fact that we're just moving up, but we do all decide to move up to the bridge to get into zone. Since it's round 3 as well, you don't want to be caught outside there or get caught in a bad position, especially when having to rotate. So here we see a res. Like I don't want to try fight this because I already see there's another team there, and to be honest, in Apex, I'm just gonna say I would not want to get into fights where you're just constantly trading with another team, because there's just no point. You want to get kills as fast as you can. So here, you know, it's just like some slow, long fight. I'm missing all my fucking shots. What am I doing? Get this guy off the game immediately. With Octane pads, I should have pinged. I was pushing up. But another thing, Octane pad is a high like risk, high reward type of momentum to use, because it can go off really well, especially if you perfectly use it to like move into an area, move onto high ground. But if you're unfortunate, oh yeah, there was a Wraith there. I just completely forgot about that Wraith. Good pinging from Lifeline though. But going back to my point, with Octane's pad, even if you take it, you are really like just vulnerable being in the air. You can get shot at. So here we're just doing some trade damage, just getting them off our back. But obviously the better thing to do here is to move into like another building, especially since this one isn't in zone. So that's why I'm pinging to my teammates. Let's just get back to our high ground where we just were. I know I said building, but like I'm analyzing this game a bit after, and like, you know, this game is quite old, but like this was like last season. So it is, yeah, just a tiny bit old. But anyways, it's better just to have like a good positioning, especially in these final zones, because otherwise in this type of game, especially like Apex, where, you know, it's a really fast paced and like every action counts, any mistake can just lead to you just losing the game. So here we just sat here chilling on top of a building. My teammates are doing their own thing. I don't really mind. Personally, for me, I'm just playing around with them. Main reason for that is because I'm solo queuing. When you solo queue, a lot, like, you want to play around your team. Obviously, you have to play for yourself as well, be a bit greedy. But a lot of times, you know, it's not just like a solo game. It's a trios game. So here, we're just doing a bunch of stuff. I don't know where the fuck that Valve came from, but you know, she just appears out of nowhere. Here, I notice, well, I'm refreshing, but you're gonna see later that there's like a Mirage down there. Yeah, exactly. So in this situation, I cracked him, so I decided to push up. But the thing is, with Mirage, he goes invisible when he uses his back. So this was like a really unnecessary push, especially since I'm moving away from my old position, and I also walk into that Valk's queue. What is this guy doing? Anyways, so we decided to rotate back to where we just were, and we see one of the Valks fly over and get a res. Well, this is a bit later, but yeah, you see the Valk's flying over. She lands on that beacon. We get a bit of damage on her, so I decided to push into that. Of course, the better thing was to not take the jump pad and go over there. It was just to go left and stay on top of the bridge with the cover. But as it turns out, there was another team there, so I think the better thing to do was to go to that building. Here, I should have not jumped down from the building. I got absolutely shit on, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. So I paid for that mistake. I got knocked. Fortunately, they were not able to get the finish on me, so Lifeline was able to come in and get the most easiest res on me, so we have time to reset and just kind of regather like what the hell we're doing. So yeah, going back to a point of having like a good positioning, we take this building because, you know, there's a lot of cover, and we also get some type of high ground to look over into the bridge. We don't know where the other 4 teams are, and this is where it becomes important because I do like quite a stupid mistake here. It doesn't lead to my death, but still. So you see, we just sat here, we're holding this ground. Basically let all the other teams fight it out. It's safer to let the teams fight it out, so there's like less squads and less of a hassle for us to fight. So it's the final zone, there's 4 other squads left, and yeah, the Horizon comes over, she gets knocked. Here's the stupid mistake. So I obviously get some good damage on that Valk, so I want to push in because I assume it's a solo. So going back to my point of not knowing where all the other teams are, there was just a complete different team. So not only was there a team looking at me from height, there was another team there. So I pinged to not get like try res to me instantly. I want to make space, I want to back away. Especially in these type of zones where everyone's just so close together, you don't want to get down at all. You don't want to leave your team as just a duo. So fortunately for me, I managed to get away, get res, and yeah, that's another mistake I did, but I luckily got away with it. So final ring is going to be shutting soon, which means we do have to move away from here. But here's the issue. We have 2 supports. We don't have like a Valk, we don't have like an auto or anything else. So we have to be very careful with how we move. Fortunately, I left a jump pad up there, so it gives us the easiest access to the bridge. I almost get shit on by this Horizon. Oh my goodness, thank goodness I did not. So I reset real quick before I begin to re-challenge anyone who comes through us again. This Alta, I don't know what she was doing, but it's an easy knock. And now it's basically just clean up duty, because there's not many people left. There's only 3 other squads. There's a knock on that Horizon. The Conduit gets absolutely knocked out. There's the Lifeline. She unfortunately goes down. That's a solo. And because of all these solos, we were able to get an easy win, as you're going to see right here. That's another solo. Easy win. So, yeah. There's going to be more videos coming out like this. This is just like the first video. I'm going to be going through like every game that I have. But I hope you guys learned a bit from this video. You see what mistakes I've done, and hopefully you can implement it into your next couple of ranked games so you don't do the same mistakes that I do. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have any questions or any tips on how I can improve, please do let me know, and thank you.